The inspection report came back looking like a CVS receipt. Now what? Do you fix everything? Do you sell it as is? Do you call the investor who's been sending postcards for the last 5 years? To break this down a little bit more, we got a question from a viewer that had parents who passed away and they left their home in Plano. It's paid off, which we see that a lot of good paid off homes. The problem is it needs a new roof. It has foundation work. HVAC needs to be replaced because it's a 30-year-old unit. Kitchen hasn't been updated since the 1990s, and they received an investor offer for $350 as is. They did talk to a realtor who said they could sell it for around $475, but they needed about $50,000 in repairs. They don't have the $50 to fix it. What would we do? Well, the math is already kind of mathing to me. You can get $350 as is, or you invest $50 into it, which puts your cost at $400, right? And you could still get $475 for it. So you're making $75K, and the whole thing's paid off.
Right.
So you're making $425 more minus fees and all the things. But to me, I would do it all day long. But let's talk about what actually matters for repairs, because not every house needs to be a full gut remodel. There's not always the money in it when you do that. Now, the investor who's going to buy it, $125,000 off market.
They're going to hope.
They're going to do all the, you
just want a bell.
They might just do paint and carpet and call it a day and try to get the most for it. But yeah, they hope you're just tired and you just want to sell it to them.
The problem is this is a very stressful time. You get typically the parents passed away.
Yes.
The family's still trying to mourn through all that and do all everything that needs to get done.
Funerals, family.
Our look at it, or our spiel for it is, let us rent the house out for a couple of years, let everybody settle down, get over the mourning process, and everybody decide what do you want to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, we give them an option where we give them an income and we let them keep the house in the family.
Right.
And then once everything's settled down, okay, let's look at whether it's a good time to buy or sell or keep.
I think the problem is you'll get one sibling who wants to do one thing.
You got one that wants to sell and
one that doesn't even live in the state anymore that wants to do another thing. One that doesn't want anything to do with anything. I mean, it's just, it's really ugly after a while. And, in the utopian version of it, yes, they rent it out and they just split the rents, their respective ways and get some time to figure out what they want to do. And then, they come to us and we're going, okay, these are the things we would do, but nobody wants to pay for it. Well, there are some options where we have companies that will get paid at close.
Right.
So there's that, and we've done that in the past. The repairs that really matter on our side, if we were going to list it, is going to be foundation for sure. If it does need foundation work, no one's going to touch it except for investors. And depending on the age of the home, it may also need some plumbing work because of the foundation being adjusted. Roof has to be done because of insurance, right? Yep. Regardless. HVAC is hit and miss. They're going to come for you in concessions later to get it paid for anyways. In our experience, most buyers triple the cost of anything. So if you can have your own person come out and replace the air conditioning unit properly and well for a good price, it's worth doing it. Water intrusion, if there was any water intrusion, definitely has to get done. We don't want any sort of issues with, what do we call that? Growth.
Yep, microbial growth.
The growth. Also the M word that we don't like to say. And then electrical issues, because those are safety. Those are usually the things that we are having the conversations around.
Right.
And then cosmetic at that point just comes down to an ROI. How much would you put in cosmetically and how much is it going to get you? And that's going to be a case-by-case sort of issue. If they go to rent it out, they probably only have to really work about water intrusion and HVAC most likely, I feel like. Foundation, they don't really have to touch unless you're 4 inches differential and you can have vertigo when you walk through the house, which I have walked through some of those.
We have a couple of houses where you stumble when you're walking down the hall.
I feel it's like if you have never had vertigo before, it's that feeling you get when the elevator stops but you keep moving. Mm-hmm. That's how you know the foundation's off. That's my favorite way to explain that. And then, cosmetic, trendy, landscaping, decor. It really just depends on where it is. We had a house in in Plano that we listed, and we staged it and did all the things. I mean, we had 4 or 5 offers on it, and the neighbors hadn't been moving for 90 days. So to me, in those instances on our side, we have to go above and beyond.
Mhm.
If everybody's just flying off the shelves, then you might not have to do as much. Just make it look really clean and tidy, and you can usually list it at a decent price. Depends on the neighborhood it's in.
Depends on neighborhood, market, schools.
Everything.
Everything.
Everything. I would say if they don't have the 50K, I always think there's creative ways to find it.
There's ways you can find it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to look at like what we're calling the trendy thing,
Yes.
the HDTV type projects. You don't need to do that.
No. Because they're probably going to do a version of their own if it's priced right.
If you're thinking about making it a rental,
you definitely don't have to do it.
You want to do the minimum amount.
Pull out the old shag carpets and put in some, LVP down.
It's more the carpet and the paint.
And the paint. Brighten it up.
And hopefully you don't have water stains in the ceiling, those kind of things.
The thing also not noted on here is windows. A lot of times, I think in Texas, windows aren't as big of a deal as people think they are.
Right.
Like they're worried about broken seals and all that. Well, the window's gone. If it's got a broken seal, it's gone. But if everybody in the neighborhood has the same windows, you don't have to update them.
Right.
It's just how it is.
We have some houses that they're single pane.
Mm-hmm.
They're not efficient whatsoever. They're basically just stopping the wind from blowing in the house. But we also have some double panes that their seals broke, and you can definitely tell.
They're all foggy.
They're foggy, and
not great.
But we'll have the tenant write it down on their move-in form that this is an issue.
Yes.
But we'll tell them it's cosmetic, and if the owner wants to do an improvement, they can do that. And we do have some owners that says, okay, I want to get income coming in. After 6 months, we'll address doing a renovation.
That makes sense.
They want to get money in so that they can pay for that, budget it. But if it's a cosmetic thing, you probably don't need it to sell it or buy or rent.
Not if it's priced right. I mean, and sometimes the renovation isn't worth the ROI you're going to get. You're not going to usually get a dollar for dollar. So if you don't get to enjoy the renovation, a lot of times it doesn't make sense unless you do some of the renovations we talked about in previous episodes.
Agreed.
So foundation issue, I think you have a lot of people want to discount for a foundation, but so many people are afraid of touching foundation. I think it has to be done. And even once it's done, sometimes they still don't want to buy it because it's been done. It is what it is.
In Texas, there's soil moving everywhere.
Yes.
And you got to be careful with it because it also affects your piping, your sewer line going to the street. There's so many things that it could affect. So you want to get a good handle on that.
And a lot of times insurance is not covering that. So it's going to be an out-of-pocket cost that you're going to have. Like we currently have a house under contract that had cast iron pipes, but it's a pier and beam. So you could see every cast iron from underneath in the crawl space. None of them were leaking. Some had been replaced. Looked great. Slab, you don't know what you have because it's in the foundation. But it was the main sewer line out in the yard, and that's what had broken.
Yeah.
And
tree roots have
it was
an
old clay one, and it just all died. I mean, that's a $10,000 to $15,000 replacement, depending on how much line there is to replace. And then, whole home pipe repair, I haven't seen it less than $25,000, and that's for like a small one story.
Right.
So I mean, those are big costs, but it's going to cost you $60,000 plus in a price adjustment to make up for it. And the only person coming out to look at it is the investor anyway. No first-time home buyer is going to say, yep, I want to buy that house with all the broken pipes underneath it, and I'll do it myself.
Right.
Unless they've done it one-off on another house, and they're probably dipping their toes in investments anyways.
Typically, the investor's going to budget for those kind of things, and if they happen, they happen. But if they don't, his ROI just improved.
Yes, and they are going to the comment of should we sell to the investor that's been sending us postcards the last 5 years? I will tell you, I've personally tried to sell a house for my clients to those people who cold call me, text me, all the things. They can't cut you a deal. They're awful at it. I
Yeah.
cannot tell you how disappointing of a process that was, how frustrating it was, because they budget everything at retail price, even though they're getting discounts, and they want their 20%, and they just work it in all the way around. And next thing you know, the only one winning is them.
Yes.
And so never, I'm sorry to the investors who watch the show, but don't sell to them.
How desperate are you?
Yeah, you are really going to pay the price for it. And the worst part is you could have probably rented out and cash flowed decently, or you could have called us and listed it for sale and at least made money instead of lost money.
Right.
But there's not really a scenario it makes sense to me to sell off market straight to an investor. It's only because you were just too impatient and didn't want to deal with it, and you thought you were making more money and you're not. It drives me crazy that people leave so much money on the table. They want us to cut our commissions, but then they'll go sell to an investor. I'm like, you lost 3 times as much money going to them versus just paying me what I'm worth paying for to make money. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay, roof replacement. We said yes, it's got to be done. Because it's not going to get insured moving over. Unless someone's maybe buying cash, I guess. Then it's,
only if you need it replaced.
Right. But say it needs to be replaced.
Yes.
You can't not do it. You've got to do it. Because it's going to come up in inspection. And then you got 2 days to figure it out. And it's really stressful. So file the claim and go through the process. We're not saying just replace it to replace it. But file the claim, see the process. If insurance is not going to replace it, then you got a different conversation.
It's one of the biggest things people need to do is go check, find out how much is a roof replacement. It's not going to raise any flags or anything, but
Right.
make sure you understand, because you can have, I've seen as low as 1%. I've seen up to 5%.
Yep.
So it's.
And that's deductible. You're talking about the deductible.
deductibles.
You'll have to
And
pay that to then have insurance supplement the other.
1% doesn't sound like much, but it's a huge.
It's a lot.
amount.
And not very many companies are doing 1% anymore. So at least in Texas. When life hits hard, late payments, medical bills, job loss, or even the need to move quickly, many homeowners feel trapped. The fastest way out seems to be selling to a cash investor, but that means giving your home away for pennies on the dollar. You don't have to do that. Nearly half of homeowners today are equity rich, and that value belongs to you. With our One Move program, you can unlock that equity immediately, get cash in hand now, and still share in the upside when your home resells. Or, if you'd rather, we'll shop your property to multiple cash buyers so you can choose the best offer instead of settling for one low bid. Go to DunnDealOffers.com and discover the smarter way to get cash fast without losing the equity you've worked so hard to build.
What does Real Property Management do for you? Advertising, marketing, prepping, inspecting, showing and screening, reviewing, accepting, selecting and signing, briefing and moving, maintaining, inspecting, enforcing, responding, pricing and saving, communicating, emailing and calling and faxing and stating, coordinating, scheduling, unlocking, fixing, accounting, reporting, funding, filing, and nixing, complying, renewing or moving, collecting, evicting, assessing, rekeying, and ever repeating. And meanwhile, we're training and ever refining, always running to keep vacancies ever declining. Because Real Property Management means oh so much more than cashing a rent check. Oh no, so much more. The discount shops say they can do all this too. Without staff, systems, resources, how can that be true? Tens of thousands of investors nationwide know when they need real management, just where to go. We're proven and trusted winter, spring, summer, fall, from major catastrophes down to the small. So if you own rentals, grab the phone and make a call. Real Property Management. We handle it all.
Okay, so say the pool needs resurfacing. Do you do it or not?
We don't deal with, we only have a few properties with pools.
Okay.
But this summer, we did do a pool resurfacing.
Yes.
Very expensive.
It's super expensive.
But it's a safety issue, because if you got tile, you got the edge of the pool where somebody could step on it and fall in, you could get sued over that, and that's even more expensive.
That is more expensive.
So if you got pool issues, I would say yes.
we go back and forth on ours because sometimes if it's priced right and we take it into account and price for it, we don't do it. And then sometimes we'll have them get it done, or they'll get it done
Yeah.
right before they call us.
If it's a concession, then
Yes.
you're actually paying for it in a roundabout way.
Someone's going to pay for it somehow, some
Yes.
way. It needs to be. If you're going to have a pool, you need to just budget in maintenance for it, and that's part of the maintenance is
Correct.
resurfacing it. Okay, so then the original kitchen, do you leave it or you update it in this scenario?
For rental properties, I would say probably not.
The
For
charm.
selling,
We
yes.
might have to do something on it. Usually what I've seen done is swap out the fixtures, replace the countertops, and paint the cabinets. That's usually the bare minimum thing you
Yep.
would have to do. And that can be an investment.
That's still probably $3,000 to $5,000
Yeah,
probably on
even
that.
just I feel like the granite alone or the quartz
Right.
alone would be that much plus the paint. I'm thinking you're almost at like 5 to 8.
Maybe.
Depending on the size of the
Mhm.
kitchen, right? If it's a
Yep.
teeny tiny little baby one, maybe not so bad. But that alone will go a long way, I think,
Correct.
for resale value.
We get asked that all the time. Well, I got granite counters. I
Mhm.
got this. I got that. And for us, the
Regardless.
market level price is what it is, and
And
it's
are you
not going to
basing that
change.
off of size and square footage and
I'm
demand?
looking at over the last 6 months. I typically look at 6 months and plus or minus 200 square foot,
Okay.
and that gives me a very good indication of what's going on in that neighborhood. And I also try to keep it to a quarter mile to a half mile
Right.
from that house, so you're getting that neighborhood.
Yep.
And I tell my owners it doesn't matter if you got the countertops. You're comparing that gets to a point where it's a very competitive market like it is right now. Everybody's priced the same, so now that's when tenants or applicants can go through and look at each house. This has this, this has this, this has this, and
It's
then
just
you can
speed of how
decide
fast it's going to go usually.
which one you like.
Right. They're not going to necessarily pay more, but they're more likely to apply for that
Right.
property versus
Right.
the other ones. Whereas in the past, if I've got granite and they don't, I should make more money.
We're getting more and more people that don't even look at the properties. They're moving in from out of state,
Yes.
and they look at all our pictures online. They love the property, so they're
'Cause they're
turning
just
in their
renting.
applications right there. They're just renting it.
They need the school, they need the location for
Right.
their work or whatever. And they're like, it's temporary. We can deal with not having granite
Right.
countertops.
Right.
Yes. Whereas on our end, we got to make it look really nice. But at the same time, we can't over improve it. It can't be the nicest one on the block because there's a ceiling of price.
Right.
If you could spend 10,000, but it only makes you $5,000, I don't think that makes sense, right? But if you could spend 30 and make 50K, I think that makes sense.
That does.
That's a good ROI. 20 for 10, that's a tough one too. Like it just depends on if it actually has to be done. If you had to spend $20,000 in HVAC and roof and all that, and it's only going to get you another 10,000, that's to me is a good setup because you would have lost 50.
You're gonna get hit with concessions.
Yes.
Your
Or just no
inspection
buyer
report.
sales price.
They just say nope.
Exactly. So to me, if it takes you 20 to make 10, but that saved you from losing 50 plus, it's still a good number for me.
Right.
So every house is different, like we always say.
It depends.
So it just depends. So if you are worried about repairs on your house and you're trying to decide what to do with it, especially if you've inherited a house and you're like, I don't know where to go with it. We think the best first step is just to slow down and figure out your options and maybe rent it out in the meantime if you need some cash flow.
Ask your professionals. They will give you a good
They'll give you the good
indication
one.
whether it's good or not.
Yes. See, Glynn never wants to give you a full answer. I want to give you the full answer. I'm going to pretend like you're across the table for me. But like, if you could slow it down and get yourself some time so you're not emotionally making decisions because you're in a grieving process of where you're at, or you're just overwhelmed with all the things you're taking on. Because we also find a lot of times maybe the parents haven't passed, but they're going into assisted living and
Yes.
you're managing that. And then sitting down and going, okay, where is this house? What is this house doing? What do the rental comps look like? What do the resale comps look like? What does all that look like? And then what fits you and your family?
Now with this assisted living scenario, you're looking at, okay, I can get you maybe $2,500 rent, $3,000 rent, plus Social Security coming in. Now you're looking at
Paying for all
potentially paying for your assisted living.
Yes.
So you got to look at all
that.
the
Instead of making draws from 401ks
Right.
and all that right off the bat, leave that for secondary income if you need it.
Right.
There's so many people that will just sell it and be like, I need that whole lump sum to live off
Right.
of. And they just,
Right.
it's a very common feeling that most people have, and they don't even consider the renting possibility.
It's been ingrained.
Yes.
If you're moving, you sell.
Yep.
If somebody passed
Because it's
away,
too much
you
of a
sell.
headache.
Right.
It's like, look, if you set it up like a business and set it off to the side and let someone like you run it, then it's just going.
Right.
We'll see you on the next one.
That's good.
I'll be here all day.